Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Tia.
And I'm your host, Ikoya.
Welcome to the Wig Life Podcast.
For wig lovers and wearers navigating life.
Because it's not just wigs, it's life.
Let's get into the episode.
All right, what are we talking about today?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait, we're talking about you. I'm supposed to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? All right. Okay, everybody. So, as you know, Ikoya and I both have businesses outside of this podcast.
Yes.
So, we thought that we would take some time to talk about each other's businesses. So, today, I'm going to interview Ikoya about her business, Silky Sax.
All right.
Silky Sax and Silky Sax and Silky Sax. I don't know if you have a theme song.
I do have a song.
Oh, because I just made you up one, but all right.
Okay,
Go with your own
both.
song.
I'm going to use both. I like both.
All right, so what is Silky Sax?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I don't know why.
No, I love it. The enthusiasm. So Silky Sax are velvet. I have to remember to say velvet. Luxurious velvet silk line bags that I invented to store your wigs or hair extensions, clip-ins, or whatever you wear in. Silky Sax is a silk line bag that I invented to not only store your wigs in, but to help them keep longevity. So if you don't know, silk has a lot of natural properties that are really great for hair. So one of the things it has is amino acids. So an amino acid will help to keep your hair, preserved. Also the texture, right? Because I don't know if you've ever heard of, like, they'll tell you to sleep on a silk pillow. It's really good to sleep, or a satin pillow. It's because that silky texture allows the hair to just glide when you're sleeping, moving around, so there's no friction, because friction leads to frizz, which also can lead to hair loss over time.
So it's silk on the inside?
Yeah, so inside the bag where the hair, so on the outside is velvet, inside there's silk. And then for those of you who want to watch on YouTube, there'll be footage in there so you can see. But for those of you who are listening, there is silk lining inside the bag. And so that silk lining, gives you the benefits that I'm talking about. So instead of just storing your wig, you are actually helping to preserve it as well. Because I felt like, so really how I even came up with the idea is because I was wearing a lot of weaves and hair extensions. And if you've ever worn hair extensions or weaves, the hair tends to be human hair, so it's more expensive. And I think hair has gotten cheaper over the years. It might not be as cheap anymore because I feel like there was like that hair shortage or whatever going on because of the panorama. Mm-hmm. But it used to be really expensive. And so I had bought this hair for like $500. And I took my extensions out. I was just wearing my own natural hair for a little bit. I had put them in this plastic bag, put them in the closet. I was doing my thing. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to put my extensions back in. And I go get the plastic bag out of my closet. I open up the bag, and the hair was just like dried out and matted.
Oh, really? Just by sitting in there?
Yeah, and this is over months. It wasn't just like a couple days.
Sitting in the bag.
But yeah, it was just sitting in the bag, and it had been sitting up there for a couple months. And I pulled it out, and I was like, this is not good. So I was like, okay, I'm going to wash it. I'm going to bring it, back to life. But I was like, but I need something so that when I store it, it won't look like this. So I don't have to keep, doing this every single time. And so, of course, I Googled, and there was nothing silk lined. And I know silk and satin help your hair because, a lot of us Black women, African American women, we sleep with bonnets on because that helps preserve our hair, protect our hair at night, our styles, or just.
So you're saying you couldn't find a bag? Because I know,
No.
like, when I get human hair, like, I've had a couple human hair wigs that came, like, in PR, and they always have a little bag with them.
So I need to, first of all, I probably should have said when I invented the Silky Sax. So Silky Sax came out in 2017. I came up with the idea in like 2014, 2013. So back then there wasn't. If you wore some wigs came in like satin bags or whatever. But if you were just buying bundles, which would be like just the hair.
Extensions.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
If you were buying bundles, just the hair, it didn't. It came in plastic. They would just, as soon as the hair, or you would literally buy it.
Yours was born out of the extensions and the
Yes.
bundles. Okay.
Because at that point, I wasn't even wearing wigs yet. I was just getting weaves sewn in to my head and wearing it. And so this particular hair that I'm talking about was just extensions. They didn't have
So
like
that's
just
why you
wefts.
have the clips.
Yes. So I was like, this is crazy. Like, I'm not going to be dropping $500 on hair all the time. I need to bring this hair back to life, and then I need to store it in something that's going to not just store it, preserve it. Because at that time, if you went online, I mean, I guess you could buy a satin bag or whatever, but there was nothing specifically for hair. Everything was those hangers, and then they were in those bags that look like
linen kind of?
like the that you travel with.
Yeah, like a garment bag.
Garment bag. That's exactly the word I'm looking for. So they were like hangers on a garment bag, and it's plastic. And I had one of those, but it would caught in the zipper. Whenever I would go to unzip it, the hair was getting caught in there. I'm pulling it out the zipper, which is fraying and getting it all messed up. And I'm like, no, I just need something silk or satin lined that I can just put in there, and I can preserve the hair and like use it. And like I said, this is 2013, 2014. There was nothing. It's hard to believe that now, but because there's a lot of stuff out now, but there was nothing. And then inside the bag, like you were saying earlier, there's clips to like hold it in place, because I didn't want you to just, I mean, you can with the silk sack, you can definitely just throw the wig in there or the hair extensions in there if that's what you want to do. But I also have these clips if for the wig bag, or these loops that you can clip your clip-ins or tape-ins or whatever you're into as well, so that they can like hang.
Right.
And then like what I would do is just take my silky sack and hang it, because there's drawstrings.
Yeah.
So you can hang it, or if I travel with my wig or whatever, I put it in there and I fold it up. If you were to like go somewhere and you have your wigs you don't want anybody to know, you could literally fold it up, put it in your bag, and no one would know.
So when you first designed this, it was meant for human hair extensions.
Yes, and then at that time my sister was wearing wigs. So I was wearing weaves and extensions. She was wearing full-blown wigs.
Human hair?
Yeah, human hair. So I kind of was like, oh, because she was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I could use one of those for a wig too. So it started off with the bundle sack, because that's what we called it back then, bundles. Now they would just be, I don't know, West clips. I guess they could still be considered bundles, but
I mean, when you buy them, it's
say bundle. Yeah. And then for the wig sack, I invented for wigs too, because she wore wigs, and then eventually she talked me into wearing wigs, and now I wear wigs. But yeah, it all was born out of just needing a better way.
I mean, if you think about it, it's 2023 now, so
Yeah.
I mean, that was 10 years ago. It doesn't seem like
It does not seem like that was that long
at
ago.
all.
And of course, I mean, it took so long because the process of inventing something takes a long time, which I did not know, because that's not my trade. Just by nature, I'm a flight attendant. I've been for decades now. Oh my gosh. So
You're like, skirt.
I know. So I had no idea what it took to invent something and take something from that, from your mind or what you think about into the actual world and make it a product. So that was its own adventure, and it actually took me 3-4 years to get it all done.
So how did you? What made you decide to like make them? You decided to make them just for yourself, but what made you decide to make them to sell in like a business?
Yeah. So I've always had like businesses on the side and always did like things on the side, and I just know from growing up, from like a lot of the women in my family either wore wigs or extensions. It's especially back then, it was really a thing. I guess hair is always a thing in the Black community, but it was it was a thing. And so anyways, I thought about it, and then when I came up with the idea, I shared it with my cousins and my sister, and they were all like, ooh, I hella would use that. Like, yeah, I would use that. And so
yeah, because they don't want to waste their money either.
Yeah. And then what's that saying, like a lot of things that I don't know but like they say, if you want something, invent it, because probably you and other people feel the same kind of way. And so when I would tell it to my family and friends who wore wigs or they were like, oh yeah, I would use something like that. Yeah, that would be cool. So then I had to draw it, design it, because I don't, I just knew I wanted something silk lined, but I didn't know like what does that look like, and I knew it couldn't have a zipper, because like I said earlier, the zipper thing just was not working. And so I kind of looked at what was out there and what would I want. And I felt like the things that were out there were like bulky. They weren't anything that really, in my opinion, condensed wigs and hair. Because like at that point I had a bag, like I said, a plastic bag in my closet. My sister literally had a box with a bazillion wigs just thrown in there. And so I was just thinking about like, okay, what is a way that you could wear this? I mean, if you could do this, do it discreetly, do it nicely. I'm a little bougie, so I was like, I wanted to be luxurious. So I kind of tried to think of what would I want to buy, and went about creating it. Like I said, it took me a lot of time.
So the actual creating it part, because I know you have a whole, I think you have like a video about the patent part of things on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
That they, so if you really want to know the patent part of things, I really encourage you to go to Ikoya's YouTube channel and watch the video, because she really goes into a lot, and it's a whole detailed and a very straightforward video on the patent. And I think that is a really good topic and a very specific topic. But as far as the making it, like, did you have someone else make it? Like, did they sew it, or did you sew it? Like,
so I have no idea how to sew. So that was the first part of like, okay. So I drew it out. After like really thinking about what I wanted to do, I drew it out on a piece of paper. And then from drawing it, I went to Google University and was just like, how do you manufacture bags? And it really took a long time.
You said Google University.
I went to Google. Girl, I have a PhD in Google University from making silky sacks. And pretty much, to make a long story short, because like it could like go forever. Pretty much what I found is manufacturers manufacture things, but it's very specific. So for example, I wanted to make a bag. So I was looking, and manufacturers who make bags, but manufacturers who make bags make purses or luggage or suitcases. So when I would contact them and I'm like, it's a bag and it holds hair, they'd be like, oh no, we don't do that. You need to go to a hair manufacturer. So then I would contact a hair manufacturer and like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's a bag that holds wigs. And they're like, oh no, we don't work with fabric. We don't do that. You need to go to a bag manufacturer. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really frustrating. It took a long time because people who manufacture things, manufacturing is very one-track minded. They make one thing and that is what they make.
Yeah.
They don't make a ton of things. And I had no idea because like I said, I never did anything like that. So it took me a while. So then because I couldn't find a manufacturer, I was like, who do I know who can sew? So I have an aunt, thank God, who sews. And she was like, okay, yeah, I can make that. I think I can make that. So I was like, cool. No, I'm lying. First of all, let me go back. I have it at my neighbor at the time. Her mom sewed. And so I was like, okay, I have this drawing of this bag. I want you to try to make it for me. And she was like, okay. So I just went to like my local Joann's or I don't know, whatever, got some fabric, and she was able to make it. And so I was like, ooh.
So now you have a prototype.
So I was like, okay, cool. I got a prototype. So then I was like testing it, working out with it. And then that's when I was like, okay, it needs the straps. It needs, more things. And then my sister was like, yeah, I need something for my wig. So that's how it got bigger because the bundle bags are are smaller and are not as wide. And so that's when it got bigger. And that's when I came up with the idea to put clips inside instead of the straps. So anyway, so after I did that, then I have another aunt who really sews because and I still have it. Oh my gosh. My first prototype, it didn't have like silk lining or anything like that in it. It just had, I just wanted to see the actual bag and put some hair in it and see, does that even work?
You knew the silk lining could be put in.
Right.
Did the actual structure and everything.
Right. So once I got that down, I was like, okay. And then I'll be honest, at that time, I was really paranoid to tell anybody of what I was doing. Because I thought somebody was going to steal my idea. To even get any help. Yeah, I thought somebody was going to steal my idea, which is not the way I would recommend you do things. I mean, I do think there's a level of being wise, but I was so secretive, it ended up holding me back.
Right.
And so make a long story short, my aunt knew was, that I wanted the silk lining or whatever. And so she was able to make it with that. So I was like, okay, now we're cooking. Like, now I got this thing. And then that helped me kind of be able to go to manufacturers and show them. But what I found is I had to really go in person and show them, because on the phone, they would just instantly be like, we don't do that.
Right.
And be like, end of story.
So how many manufacturers did you go to and show before they were like, yeah, we'll do that?
Girl, it was probably like 3 or 4. Let me tell you this. This is a funny story. So my cousin, who's one of my best friends ever, you know who you are, Bink, and he was like helping me with this journey, because he at the time was like learning how to sew and stuff too. And so his mom is my aunt, who like actually made the first like real prototype. So anyways, I go to this manufacturer, okay? I go to her, I show her the Silky sack. By this time I had went out in the world and got my like real, silk that I wanted to use. I had got the velvet, I got all the stuff. So the first thing that she tells me, which I didn't realize, is like silk and velvet are not very easy fabrics to work with.
No, they're not.
When you're sewing, because they slide.
Yep.
So I was like, oh. And so she's like, are you sure you want this? Like, you want it this way? And I was like, I absolutely want it this way. So that upped the cost, right? Because it's going to take more time. It, like she said, there's a specific needle you have to use. And I was just like, girl, I thought we were just making bags. Yeah. So
my mom sews, and she had an affinity for putting me in velvet. So I know.
So all the seamstresses in the world can relate to this. So I was like, girl, I was just trying to make a bag. Like, I don't know. And so
the bougiest bag in the world.
Right. I'm just trying to be bougie and cute, and you talking about all this stuff. Okay. So I'm like, no, I want this. So she's like, all right. So she's like, well, I'm just going to make one. Because I could tell too, she really, like, she was trying to be helpful, but I could tell she really didn't want to, because that particular manufacturer made jackets. That was their thing. They made coats. But that's another story. Oh my gosh. But I was able to find her through this company. So anyways, we go, I give her the stuff. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to make the bag. I go with my cousin. We pick up the bag. We look at it. No, I'm sorry. I go by myself. I pick up the bag. I look at it, and she's like, yeah, we're not going to be able to do this. She was like, it's way too much work. And at that time, I only wanted a small quantity.
Yeah,
right?
They want you to be
yeah, because I'm like, I'm not going to order 1,000 bags and not for sure know people are going to really buy them. So I only wanted like, I can't remember, I think it was like 50 of them to start with, which is going to be really expensive, but I didn't care. I was like, I need to make sure I can sell these 50, right? So anyways, I get the bag. The bag is horrific.
I was going to say.
It was like, you could tell she was like, I didn't want to do this in the first place. Let me just slap something together, because I'm going to tell this girl no.
And it's going to be so bad that she won't even want it anyway.
It was so bad. So for all of you who are from my generation, do you remember when Denise on the Cosby Show wanted that? Remember she wanted that Gordon Gartrell shirt? Remember that?
Yeah, and Theo was like,
remember that? And Theo was like, okay, yeah, you can make me the Gordon Gartrell. And she gave him, girl, that is what it was. And so as soon as I go up to my cousin's house, right, I bring it to him. He was like, I know this is not a Gordon Gartrell. So that was our thing. He was like, I just learned how to sew and I can do better than this. Like the lining, the stitching, like you could just tell.
She just wasn't feeling it.
She just wasn't. So
because you know she could do better.
Yeah. And my aunt was like, no. And I was like, well, she's telling me. And so anyways, I didn't explain this to you, but I'll just go back a little bit. In order to get something manufactured, you have to have a tech pack. And a part of your tech pack is a pattern. Right? You have to have a pattern made. And so I had this woman, and that's not cheap either, but I had my tech pack made and I had the lady do my pattern. And so when I called the pattern lady and talking to her, and I was telling my pattern lady, like, she was saying, like, it's hard to do with silk and it's hard to do with velvet and this and that. And like, I don't know. And she's like, Ikoya, is this the bag that you want to make? Is this what you want? And I said, yes. And she was like, Disney didn't know how to draw, but he knew he wanted certain characters, right? So and I don't even know if this is true or not, but it inspired me when she told me. She's like, so you have the vision. Somebody will orchestrate it for you. Do not dumb down your vision. You find somebody. Yep. And somebody will do it. And thank God I listened to her, and it is what it is, because the reason why I picked those things very specifically, because they're luxurious to me. Velvet and silk are luxurious.
Well, and it's the point of the bag. And
right.
It's like, and the silk is the function
right.
for the hair. So it's like swapping it out with...
Right.
The velvet, okay, wouldn't be as luxurious.
Right.
But the silk would defeat the whole purpose of doing it.
And a lot of people were like, well, you could go with satin because it kind of has the same properties. But I feel like there is a million satin bags out there.
So maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'm thinking of satin bags.
Yes. And most of the bags that hair comes in, they are satin because it is cheaper. But I wanted something more specific and more distinct. And I really wanted to go with silk. So
you obviously found the manufacturer.
Yeah, so I found someone, and as they say, the rest is history. But even to like a Silky sack, so the logo is stitched on the bag.
It is. I have we can put it down below.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I have some shorts that I did when I unpacked a Silky sack.
Oh yeah.
Brand new. Didn't know what I knew, because I think sometimes the flat picture it doesn't come across.
Yes.
But when I opened it up, I actually went outside so that you could actually see the velvet.
Yeah.
And my reaction was my pure reaction.
Yeah,
it was
like, so cute.
What?
I was like, oh.
Okay. Because I was honestly blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, when she's saying luxurious, you can call it bougie.
Yeah.
But when it's hand stitched, when she's talking about the velvet, the satin, I mean, this is luxurious.
Yes.
I only do synthetic.
Yeah.
But like I have pieces like this particular wig here. This retails for about $100.
Yeah.
And not all synthetics do, but I mean I have synthetic wigs that retail for $200-$300.
Prices have gone up.
Even if it's not human hair,
it's still expensive.
If I'm gonna invest in a $200-$300 synthetic wig, a Silky sack is perfect.
Yeah.
That is just like an amazing story.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my thought.
So
like, if you're going to spend that much money on your hair, then spend that much money keeping it together.
Well, and then it's the maintenance and everything like that. And I know we're going to be doing an episode on like maintenance and all that kind of stuff. And we can go into that. But yes, the Silky sacks, if you haven't checked them out, you need to. Again, I want to reiterate though, the patent part of stuff. Yeah. Please visit her channel for that part.
Oh, thank you.
Wigs or not, if you are thinking about doing anything that may require a patent, well, watch the video first.
Yes, that's a whole nother adventure.
If you thought this whole manufacturing story was a thing, but it's the truth. Yeah,
it's definitely been a labor of love. So yes, please check us out. And Saks is spelled S-A-K-S. So Silky Saks is SILKYSAKS.com, of course, in the show notes. And if you're watching on YouTube, in the description box, we will definitely leave the link to the website. I'll leave the link to, of course, the video if you want to know. And if you have any questions about the process, please look me up, like I said. And I hope this also will encourage somebody who maybe wants to make something. Like, you can definitely do it. It's not easy, but you can definitely do it. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out.
Well, and hats off to you, because not only is it an amazing, wonderful product, not only are you an inspiration just as a businesswoman and entrepreneur, but the fact that you didn't know how to do these things, that you didn't even have the skills necessary to get it done, but you found a way. And I think that that's such an important message. No matter what you're talking about, is that, if you have a vision, if you have a dream, if you have something that you want to accomplish, you don't always have to have all of the tools in the toolbox. You just have to know where to get them. Yeah,
just the
or
desire.
Who knows how to use them.
Yeah, and utilize, I know we need to wrap it up, but I just want to say this too, it's really important. Utilize the people around you. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, when I couldn't find a manufacturer, I had to go back to square one, and I could have stopped them, but I was like, okay, my neighbor's mom sews, my aunt sews. And it was amazing too, once I got started, how many people stepped up to help. How many people
in your atmosphere already?
Yeah. Yep. So I feel like if you put something out there, whether you believe in God, the universe, or whatever, I just think, you will be shocked at how much will come to help you if you, just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here. And we will see you in the next episode. I think the next episode we're going to be talking about wig history and wig terms.
That's going to be fun.
We will see you next time.
Thank you. See
Bye.
you next one. Bye. If you enjoyed the episode and you'd like to help support the Wig Life podcast, please subscribe and leave a rating or review wherever you like to listen.
To stay up to date with the Wig Life podcast, visit our website and follow us on socials everywhere at Wig Life Podcast. See you.